Easy, guys. I'm in this room where the lighting is it's not very good. It's not very good lighting, like I get in Mexico. But hopefully you can see me. I got the lamp on in the background, but it's not really helping. Just got home. I went out like an early birthday celebration, Italian restaurant. Got garlic mushrooms and a lasagna, and a couple of Peronis. I was there with my dad, my uncle, my dad's best mate, my brother, a few other people. It was a great time. I was out today with my mum, took her out for fish and chips, and went to the city hall, hung out with my nephew. It's good being around family. It's been good, but I'm tired, man. It's relentless. From the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed, I'm in demand and I'm being active. It's tiring, but it's worth it. Hey, John, Hamad, Sao Paulo, Brazil YouTuber. Oh, nice. Bro, share your link if you've got a page and you want to share it. Much love to you, Brazil. Love it. Hey, Adam Lastman, Divine's in the house. I was just sent her an audio. She sent me Psalm 33:11. I have to look into it. And she said, like, much love from Croydon to Bradford. And it's true. Can be anywhere in the world and spread love. Don't have to be next to the person to do that. So I was asking myself, I did this college code. It's one of the very best that I've ever done. And I really wanted to do a code where I could show you that college sports are just as coded as professional sports. And I've told you I'm getting to a point now where I really am getting to a point now where I don't think they all know that they don't. Guys, when I lived in the US, I had loads of friends that were collegiate athletes. I dated a girl who was a collegiate athlete. She did track and field. She didn't have a clue. All right. She wasn't rehearsing what time she was going to get when she was running. So it's actually making me more at ease almost, thinking that it's not all these people, that all these people are not evil. They're within this code. I definitely believe in Satanists, 1000% they exist. But to believe that every player in that NCAA tournament in March Madness is a Satanist, when most of them go on to work normal jobs, hardly any of them go on to the NBA. It's like the tiniest amount. They don't know. So I'm at a juncture in my life with what I do. I just want to show you that we're living in a coded reality and you've got to decide who's coding it now. That's what I want to show you, not to prove that this is corrupt and this is fixed and it's all about Vegas. I'm past that because I know it isn't. It isn't just that. I think the devil uses Vegas and stuff to take your energy and take your money and deceive you. But all these players are not involved in this so perfectly. They're not. That's what I want to show you. They're not. But I'll still reveal the code. And this code's going to really make you go, what? Wow, it's college as well. And it does connect to Skull and Bones, who are a secret society. And I do believe those members at that level from Yale are worshipping the devil and actively have a relationship with the devil. Actively do. Interact with demons, summon demons, and they're genuine evil. And it only needs a small amount of people to be genuinely evil who have a lot of power for the system to be what it is. So let me read these comments and I'll get into the code. So are they unknowingly possessed at the time of the game or directed? I think the majority are unknowingly possessed. I think the elite ones, the very top of the game, I think they're aware. Or again, they may not be. But with the symbolism and the celebrations, I'm just at a point where I don't think they're told to do it. Look at camera 7, put up the devil horns and stick your tongue out, but make sure you score after 44 minutes because it's 44 days after your birthday. All right. I'm at that point now where I've done it for so long. I am at an extremely high level and it's too perfect. But I have to still call it out because if they are possessed by the devil, I will continue to call out the devil. Whether those people worship him directly or not, I will continue to call out the devil and speak the word of God. I don't know if they're possessed. I know in football you have a spell of possession. In many sports you have a spell of possession. But I'm not going to sit here telling you that they're all devil worshippers. But I'll still call them out. I just do what feels right to me. Hey, BK Truths. Oi, Adam, growing every day. We must have some good guys working for us. Light always beats the dark. It does. It does. For sure. For sure. Very possible, Agent D. Very possible. When it comes to the NBA. I'm sure I once heard a testimony about spiritual assignments. I believe your coding is a translation of those assignments assigned to people. Matt, thank you. I'm at that point. I think for whatever reason, through the gift of God, not that I am God or I have God-like capabilities. Through the gift of God, I am connected to the code, and I reveal the code. And I no longer reveal the code for egotistical reasons or to show off or to make money from it, like through gambling. I'm super connected to the code, and I told you, I feel like I'm somewhat possessed when I code. But you can be possessed, like in a good way, I think, as well. Or people have been chosen light bearers to shine light on the darkness, and other people are doing the opposite. Adam PayPal, I cancelled PayPal, so I'll use a different person. First name is Patrick. Bro, I will say this: anyone who supports me, I said it to someone today. I've got 28 in the live, 7 likes. World War One began 28-7. I think Liverpool now, don't they have 28 games played in the league, 7 draws, super connected to war. For anyone who's leaving me on my website, I gain way more than I lose every month, but thank you. Anyone who's ever supported that website and given me your hard-earned $10, if you no longer want to support it or you're financially struggling, much love to you. I hope you get in a good position. I know you're not leaving because you don't like the content, because people tell me. So they have to cut costs. We are at that point, guys. Without being judgmental, people need that $10. I was speaking to my bro, Tom. He just made a chili for everybody, but I was out having Italian. I said that $10 that people are giving me, they could buy like some mints and have chili for a week. And we are at that point in the West, in England, in a country that was full of prestige and always regarded to be very wealthy. No, a lot of people are really struggling. So anyone who does support me financially and allows me to do what I do, it doesn't go unnoticed. It doesn't. And when you leave me, I don't ever get upset about it. So yeah, some people go because of PayPal. Some people are struggling to sign up because of PayPal. They're making it hard for them. So yeah, I'm very grateful to all of you. You nailed it. I really did with this code. Thank you. One guy won a tremendous amount of money, over $12,000 from this code. But again, I don't want to rave on about that. It's not about that, but it's good for that person. I've seen wicked shit that rappers do on stage. I think they open their bodies for the time of concerts. I think there's plenty of people within the world that are literally giving themselves over to the devil actively and allowing themselves to be possessed. That's why I'm telling you, there's people within the entertainment industry that are fully aware. They're fully aware. And I believe there's others that are not. And that's why the life that we live in is so confusing. It's not black and white. So they all know? Well, if they don't all know, then none of them know. No, it isn't like that for me. I think it's blurred lines. I tell you, that song, Pharrell, blurred lines. And that's why it's so hard to see clearly and why it's so easy to just argue. So I'm trying to be the guy in the middle, not because I want to sit on the fence. Never, ever been that guy. But it's just where I stand. I think the answer's in the grey. I think there's people definitely possessed and they've said, hey, I'm willing to give my soul to you because I want this success, especially people who was driven for success from a young age. That's all they wanted, to be rich and famous. Others have done it through their family. Maybe they were unaware of it. Maybe they took part in satanic rituals as kids through their parents. And then other people, there'll be plenty of people in that Premier League that might be legit guys. I get told all the time, my mate plays for Newcastle. I've had mates, loads of mates that played pro. Normal lads. I was out with Joe Colbeck and my mate Simon Ainge. Saturday night, we went to Huddersfield. Simon played for England C team. He played at Bradford City, Luton Town. Joe Colbeck was Player of the Year at Bradford City. He played for Darlington. He played for Hereford. So he wasn't like this superstar. He was playing in front of 10, 15,000 people at Bradford City, sometimes 20. And now Joe's a great lad. He's fits flaws. He plays Sunday League. Simon works in business, in recruitment. doesn't bother with football anymore. These are normal lads. So when people always ask me that, League One, League Two, is it scripted there as well? Are they all devil worshippers? No, but it's all coded because everything in our world is coded. Like Bradford City, where I played when I was younger, a lot of my family members support Bradford City, big fans. 2013, Bradford City got promotion, all right, to League One. The same season, they got to the League Cup final. A League Two team got to the League Cup final. They got beat 5-0 by Swansea because I was there at Wembley. They beat Arsenal. They beat Villa. This is a League Two team. It was the code. It don't mean every City player. My mate James Anson was playing. I played with him a few times. City striker, he scored against Villa. He's played at Wembley like 3 times. He was working at the Co-op, guys. He's now playing for Farsley Celtic. He was at the Co-op. He's not done like some ritual sacrifice so he could play for Bradford City for a couple of years, and now he's playing Sunday League. I'm not sure what his job is. His code must have just connected for those couple of years where he was great, and then he's just disappeared. Anyways, I better get into this code for you. I don't want to be too loud because my mum's in the other room and it's 9 o'clock. That's not that late. Joey Williams, what a guy this guy is. Really nice guy. How you doing, Joey, mate? Have you ever noticed some coders are going perfect for a team to win and then it feels like a sudden shift in energy and the sports outcome changes last couple of minutes, seconds? I really believe that man's not changing the outcome. I think many coders have these great codes and they're often wrong and they think that, because I did that at the beginning. I thought they changed the code or flipped the script. No, I've got better. I told you, I did a live stream. It's not a live stream. Somebody interviewed me, Ngombe and his friend. I think he's going to put it on his channel in like 3 or 4 days. I did it because he kept asking me and he's a really nice guy. And we got chatting about that Liverpool-Chelsea game. I think it was either the day before or 2 days before. It could have been the day of, like the morning of it. And I revealed my code and I said, Liverpool won't lose this game. It's far too obvious for Chelsea to win. I was like, they're not going to let Chelsea get their 66 win against Liverpool and keep Liverpool on 42 points when they just sacked the coach 6 weeks and 6 days before his birthday on 4-2. I said, YouTube, whoever, the demons are not going to give me that. So I was like, Liverpool are not losing this. I was thinking they're going to draw. They did. There's a couple of stuff where they could have won, but double chance. And it was 0-0. The last 4 games between Liverpool and Chelsea have been 0-0. 420 minutes when you include extra time in the League Cup and FA Cup final. This is 2 of the best teams in the world, arguably. And within 420 minutes, not 1 goal between them. And that's the stuff where I really believe you don't need gematria. You don't even have to be an expert with football to go, really, they went that amount of time and they didn't score 1 goal in literally almost the equivalent of 5 games of 90 minutes, almost. And then you add up the added time. You know what I mean? These days it's 5 or 6 minutes. So it probably is close to the equivalent of 5 games. That can't be happening. Almost 450 minutes of football. You got players like Salah, who's supposedly one of the best players in the world. The reason why there wasn't a goal, guys, and it went 420 minutes without one is because Hitler was born on 420. That's it. Next game, watch it be like 4-4. And finally, there's goals. It was only a matter of time. No, it's because the code. And if you think that all those Liverpool players and Chelsea players knew a year ago that, okay, next 4 games you guys play, make sure there's no goals. In many of these games, I've seen the post hit the bar. Yesterday, I think Chelsea got 2 goals disallowed. I don't think they know, guys. And there's something beautiful about that for us in a weird way, because I've told you the devil wants us to hate our fellow man. He wants us to hate on other people. What if these players don't know? What if they have been chosen? What if they have it's just their code? My brother told me this. My brother's one of the smartest people I know, John. And he said, because of you, Adam, I believe we live in a coded reality. I just don't think the people know. I don't think they're actively aware. That's what my brother said. So I've convinced him we live in a coded reality. That's a huge achievement for me. But he was like, they don't know. He said there might be a few people that know, but not every athlete in the world knows. And I think he's right. This has been going on for generations. To think they all know? No, I can't have it anymore. I can't. Jordan scored his record point playoff performance on Hitler's birthday. He's the only athlete I know to sport the small mustache. That's where 6079 Smith. Have you seen Vince McMahon's mustache? He came back at WrestleMania, which obviously concluded on 4-2. All their numbers sync up to War and Revelation. I've shown you. Vince McMahon had a Hitler tash. He had a Hitler tash. Never seen him with a mustache before. And now he's got one right after your boy King Charles gave that speech in Germany. Vince McMahon has a Hitler tash. Google it if you don't believe me. Yeah, I do remember Michael Jordan's Hitler tash. Proof it's not coded by man. Example, a team that is supposed to lose accidentally scores a goal in overtime that gets disallowed and they still lose. Yeah, it's very easy to think it's intentional. But I'm one of the few people that codes like Premier League, NBA, NFL, NHL, tennis, golf, like all the sports I code. A lot of people who are good coders, they stick to football or they stick to basketball and they stick to one. So they're focusing on that one sport. I'm seeing this go on in every sport. And just in everyday life. I think the biggest thing that woke me up to the code for me when I realized it wasn't man coding it, and I think this is the best way of doing it, is my personal life. My personal life, the sinks I have, the things I witness every single day. It's like, the Jesuits didn't make me do that, or book my flight at this time, or talk about the number 42, and then I walk past house number 42, where there's a house where it's just by itself. I'm out today with my family, and my godmother and godfather were there. They said we'd celebrate our anniversary. I said, how long have you been married? They said, it's 42 years. I'm there grinning. They're just thinking I'm grinning because I'm like happy for them. 42 years, Adam. Not really? 42. Okay. Guys, do you mind if I go and get my charger? Because my computer's going to die. I don't want it to go off. Well, it's 16%. Maybe I can get through it. Birthday wishes early, Adam. Just sent you a PayPal. Oh, wow. Wow. My dad said, Adam, be careful when you're back in England buying everybody everything, because I'm pretty generous. He said, don't go out, buy everybody food and drinks. So it's hard because you see him, you're like, hey, mate, I haven't seen you ages. Can I get you a drink? And like, people don't say no to that, do they? I appreciate that. Yeah, my birthday is the 14th. So 9 days, like yesterday with Liverpool and Chelsea. Chelsea got their 9th draw. Liverpool stayed on 9 losses, all connected to the girl who supposedly died at age 9. Again, with the girl who I said supposedly died, few people say, no, I think she did. It's a coded reality. I think she went. I don't. I think with that, my heart and soul tells me that she didn't and she never existed. But again, I don't know that. I don't know that. I just go off how I feel. I'm going to have to get that charger. I'm going to have to end it because it'll go off. Cheers, Sebastian. It's not late birthday, mate. My birthday's not for 9 days. It's not for 9 days. Which number is more dominant with rituals right now, 33 or 38? 38. 38 right now. You just have 38-year-old LeBron James become the all-time leading scorer in the NBA on the 38th day of the year, and he scored 38 points. I called him to get 38. It was crazy. I called him to get 27 points, then 38, because 27's the 38th day of the year, and he'll break the record on the 24-month anniversary of Brady winning his last Super Bowl, which connects to Kobe's jersey number. And he did. He got 27-38, and I'm like, all right, you can tell people LeBron's going to have a big game. But when you're saying how many points he's going to get because of the code, and he gets it, it is like a moment where you're like, yeah. I like someone like LeBron. So when you see LeBron and he does his satanic rituals, or he used to when he was in Cleveland and Miami, you have to think he's got to know. And I think at his level, they know. So you didn't see all the players on the Heat team doing it. It was LeBron. He was the only one doing that ritual before the game. So yeah, the code is revealing itself for the ones with eyes to see it. It means then that it was always there and always will be. Furthermore, it proves the computer simulated reality. I don't think it's computer simulated. I agree with everything you said until the computer simulated. That's from watching The Matrix. I think the code is biblical. I think God's behind the code. I think the devil infiltrates the code. I don't think it's computer simulated. I don't think it is. If you said the code's always been there, computers have not always been there. I believe the code has. So if you go back historically from what they report, you start to believe a lot of it now. But I think the people aware of the code can lie as well. If you're truly aware of this code and you're in a prestigious position of power, you can for sure make up lies, and then they know how the psychology of humanity works and promote certain things and get certain topics in your subconscious. They know how to do that. They're fully aware of that. So again, not everything that they give you is a lie. Not everything they give you is the truth. It's listen, learn, discern. It's not that black and white. There will be occasional sprinkles of truth when you watch the local news. You go, yeah, that's my next door neighbor. That did happen to him. His garage did get burnt down and his dog died. That did happen. I was there. I witnessed it. I saw his dog walk in there. I saw the fire go off. And then people go, so don't you dare tell me that everything on the news is a lie. Or everyone on the news is an actor. My dad was on that. He got interviewed 3 days ago in the park. So it's like, you know what I mean? You've got to be aware. You can't be so black and white with this, because that's when you ultimately, you don't get any answers when you're like that. You've got to be open to the fact that maybe you're not always right. That's what I'm learning. A lot of NHL teams have 3-0 in a game, then get tied 3-3. Well, the word corona gets you 30 and 33. And 63 is an enormous number. You add those numbers together, it's an enormous number. It's why JFK got assassinated in 63. It connects to number 9. 6 plus 3 is 9. 2016 was a huge year. That's the 63rd triangular number. Trump voted in as president. Kobe retired. LeBron won the NBA. Leicester won the Premier League. A lot of stuff happened in 2016. It connects to the number 63. 2016 connects to 9. 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 6 is 9. 6 plus 3 is 9. So when Tesla's raving on about 3, 6, and 9, there's a reason for it. There's a reason for it. And we're getting closer every day to understanding what these numbers mean, but we don't fully know what they represent and who's behind them. Sending you Fiesta vibes. Like it. That's my 18 minutes on Adam's birthday. Listen, I've got to get into this code. You know what? I've just checked my battery. It's 9%. I'm gonna have to go get my charger. You're gonna have to give me 2 minutes. It's upstairs, and we've got a big house. No, I'm not gonna move this because it might go off. I'll be back in 2 minutes. I'll keep going. I haven't even started my code. Typical. Works. I'm very fortunate with this because a couple of days ago, my universal adapter broke. So I didn't have access to my computer. Thankfully, I did all my work prior to that. So at 6 a.m., I ran down to Asda to buy one. 6 a.m. I slept for 1 hour. 1 hour. I'm not joking. And I ran there and bought one and it worked. I was like, please work. Otherwise, I've got my laptop and it's not going to charge up. It's like my livelihood. But I sorted it out. So living in a simulation is a possibility. Even Elon is on video saying we could be in a simulation. Again, I don't trust Elon Musk. I think eventually they will tell you we live in a matrix. That's what Andrew Tate's suddenly telling us. The Matrix is attacking him. I've told you he got released from prison on the 24-year anniversary of the Matrix being released. He gets released. He was never in prison. So, okay, I shouldn't speak in facts like that. All right, let's do this before I get into my code. 9% at 9:09. Oh my goodness. I didn't even know what time it was. All right, let's quickly talk about Andrew Tate. So he's this huge influencer. They said that he got arrested and he got released on the anniversary of the release of The Matrix. And he says that he got attacked by The Matrix. Do you think he was in prison? If he was in prison, then we are in a matrix. But if he wasn't in a prison, that means he knows that he's deceiving the world, which is what the devil does. He deceives us. He's deceived all of us. So somebody like him, at the level he's at, the fame that he's at, the influence that he seems to have, I think he knows what's going on. Not your League One footballer or the guy on your local news or your second-degree Freemason, but someone like him, the influence he has, the energy that people give him. I've told you in Mexico, all the students say, can you do a video about Andrew Tate? There's people in Mexico talking about him. And his dad worked for the CIA, Central Intelligence Agency. And I really think that Tate knows people like that. I really think that. I think most certainly we live in an enclosed harvester in regards to energy. Very possible. I think the devil and demons want our energy. Demons want, they want your energy. They want to be loved deep down. They want to be valued. They want to be respected. They want to be idolized. Just like people in Hollywood and a lot of people in the world. I was speaking to my mate, Nath. I'd say he's my best mate. I went on a walk yesterday with him and Pinder. We were out for about 6 hours. We went to Malham. If you've never been there, you should. It's one of the most beautiful places to go for a walk. And we were talking about plastic surgery and ego, and we were talking about guys, right? Usually you thought about girls with cosmetics, plastic surgery, and more focused on their appearance historically, or at least when I was growing up. And he was telling me about all of his mates. He went, yeah, my mate, he just got a hair transplant and he's got brand new teeth and all this stuff. It's like, he said it before me. He said, it's the devil. It's the devil. It's the devil and its ego and vanity. And I was like, yeah, I can't say any more than that. I agree with you. So remember people like Beckham, someone like Beckham knows what's going on, I believe. And he became this like pretty boy, poster boy, heterosexual, Brul cream, hair products, face cream, perfume. Definitely to feminize men, because everyone saw Beckham, all the girls fancied him, and all the guys want to be like Beckham. So the devil knows how this works. But a lot of guys, man, they're insecure now. They're so insecure with their appearance. And when you're insecure with your appearance, you can just become insecure in general. It shouldn't be about our appearance. And we both said this. We said, yeah, what's worse, the guys who are obsessed with their appearance and having surgery and hair transplants and fake teeth and have to wear Dolce & Gabbana suits, or the guys who've given up on life and they don't shave, they stink, like they don't care about their appearance. It's that happy balance. I was like, me and you, Nath, we're both decent looking guys, but we've never been obsessed with our image. We don't have to go prancing around in all this fancy gear. If something happens to our hair, it happens to our hair. If our teeth get knocked out, you just deal with it. So yeah, that obsession with vanity, I think it's the devil. If you learn about the 7 deadly sins and all of that, um, he's a pretty girl. Yeah, he very possibly is a woman. What I can't talk about that stuff on YouTube anymore. They've emailed me about it. They said to avoid this particular topic. That's why I haven't been doing it. I'll still talk about it on my website every now and again, but I can't mention it. If I start saying that, they say it's slander and hate speech. And I don't often have a leg to stand on. If I accuse this person of being that, then like the Ronaldo video that got taken down and it got me banned for a week. It just said it was hate speech. And you look at it and you're like, geez, I didn't approach it with hate. I don't hate Ronaldo. I just wanted to reveal like what I found and what I put together. But of course, I rattled a few feathers with that video, and they got rid of it, and then got rid of me for a week, and then my channel doesn't grow anymore. Told you I got 1,600 new members in 6 days. 2 days later, they banned me, and I haven't got anything since. Really, it makes no sense. But whatever. You guys are here, aren't you? All right, we are all beautiful in our own ways. Exactly. Right, I've got to go through this. I probably should do a separate video, but I'm too busy to be doing all these videos now whilst I'm here. So this was my code. If you took UConn to win the national championship, good luck today. All right. And then I got deep into the code. So it was the Huskies against the Aztecs. It was a college from Connecticut against a college from San Diego. I love San Diego. I've never been to Connecticut, but I couldn't believe this code. So I really wanted to provide a code to you to show you that college sports are coded. They're coded. And they ain't doing this because, yeah, do a lot of people bet on March Madness? Yeah, a ton. Millions of dollars of bets going on March Madness, no doubt about it. But I've told you guys, the people who own Vegas, they own the monetary system. They understand money in the sense of it's a social construct. They will never run out of it like us in the Matrix, where money is essential and incredibly important. You can't pay your bills without it. These guys, they've got unlimited funds. So they're not coding or writing scripts for college basketball so they could win a bit of extra money. Just like the World Cup wasn't in Qatar, just so they could make some extra money. Because those who run the World Cup, run the monetary system, will be working with the presidents and prime ministers all over the world. They all work for the devil at that level. But again, your local politicians, to say that, oh, thank you very, very much for that, Dan Inspired. How's it going, Illusion? How's the lives? Keep doing them. It's hard to find like-minded people, and we are aware of this knowledge. Cheers, mate. It is. The biggest blessing of my website is people are there who are open-minded. Everyone who signs up there has to be somewhat open-minded. Is there a few people there just to win money? I'm sure. But even then, they're open-minded to the code that I'm doing. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there. So life's good, very busy, very tired, but that comes with being busy. But I'm busy doing things that I'm enjoying. So anytime I can do a live for you, I'll do it. But I have been at a point where I couldn't have done it. Even if I wanted to do it, I couldn't. I'm out. And when I'm out, I don't have internet because I'm in England, which has actually been a beautiful thing. So if I'm going on a 5-hour walk with my mates, I didn't touch my phone other than taking a few photos. And I still take photos of nature. It's still beautiful. Again, it doesn't fully do it justice. When you take photographs of nature, it doesn't do it justice. So sometimes I just don't even bother. But thank you for that. I appreciate it. I downloaded that Cristiano Ronaldo video. Thank you. I've told people if you like my stuff, download it because soon enough they'll get rid of me. I would download it for your own sake if you enjoy what I do or to show it to people. Soon enough they'll try their best to get rid of me. Greta would say, "How dare you?" Call someone out for lying about their gender. Yeah. Of course he would. Of course he would. But again, Greta Thunberg, like, put it this way, this is where we have to have a bit of like remorse and like empathy. If Greta Thunberg is actively working for the devil, right? And she came on the scene as a teenager. Again, they lie about their age, who knows? She's obviously been brought up into Satanism and corruption and to deceive. Like, sure, Greta didn't ask for it. Greta winds me up. I call out Greta. I've wrote about Greta in my book for the role and how much of a hypocrite he is. But I don't think Greta asked for it. I don't think he asked for it. So easy to call out when you've got eyes to see and you're not naive, and you see Greta giving a speech about climate change after flying to the other side of the world on a private jet. That should be enough to make you go, I'm not listening to anything this person has to say. And obviously Greta's been used to indoctrinate the minds of the youth, because everybody's learning about Greta at primary school these days, and climate change and sustainable energy. It's everywhere. And that's just to control us, guys. They do everything in the name of helping humanity when it's the opposite. That's why you've got to be careful with words and falling for words. The power of words. I write about that as well. The power of words. Words is an anagram of sword, and words cut like a knife. Like they cut. You can cut a person with words. You can deceive a person. You can make somebody's day with a couple of words. And these people at the top of the pyramid, they're incredible with the words. That's why they have the best quotes. In my book, I use their quotes because their quotes are incredible. Their quotes are so wise. They know the power of words. Anyways, I've not even started this code, have I? I'm going back. Bro, but they're so evil. Yeah, no. It all depends on if they actively know, bro. If they actively know that they're deceiving the world, and they actively know that they're taking part in satanic rituals, and they actively know that they're disrespecting God, then yeah, they're evil. Genuinely evil. If they've been brought up in it and they've not known any different, or if they're under MK Ultra, or they're just being used by the devil, unconsciously aware of it, then they're not evil. It's just they're being possessed by evil. But then again, does that make them evil? For me, evil is when you are actively aware. But people may disagree. If there are such things as serial killers, are they evil? They know what they're doing, don't they? They're actively aware of what they're doing, taking another person's life. That is evil. But do we have as many serial killers as they tell us? Why do they have so many shows about serial killers and glorifying them? Is there as many serial killers as they say? Told you, the devil wants you to think the world is evil. He wants you to hate the world, and he wants you to hate your fellow man, not love thy neighbor. And I've learnt that now. I've learnt that. So I don't just look at that surface level. This person did that, it's evil. I go deeper. I'm like, nobody's born evil. Yes, they are. Nobody's born evil. Nobody is born evil. Well, it's the genetic makeup. It's this, that, and the other. I disagree. I really don't think anyone's born evil. All right, let me go to this code. I better read it. I can hardly see it. I'll read the whole thing. This is crazy, but well done to Luke, who won $12,750 from UConn winning this, and well done to anyone else who took them weeks ago. I still have to put this. I still put the code out. I still have to be aware that people are betting on it, but I don't bet, and this is not why I did the code. So I said, what is more important to me is the undeniable code I can now present that shows US college sports are completely coded, just like the pro leagues. So UConn beat San Diego State Aztecs 76-59. And they won by double digits, which I expected. I'll get into later. And this code was all about skull and bones. And I'll tell you why skull and bones are going to be so relevant this year within the code. They drink blood out of the skull. So they won by 17 points, UConn. This San Diego team, they were involved in a lot of drama. Like in the couple of games prior to this final, they won both of the games by a point, really late. I was like, they're not going to do that again. They'll probably get blown out. And they did. Although it was close at 1 point late in the second half. They cut it to like 4 points, I think. All right, so UConn win by 17 points. And I've been talking a ton about 17, not because modern day Freemasonry was founded 1717. It's because of Revelation 17:17. For God hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of God shall be fulfilled. So I've told you what's going to go on right now in this world where Satan's going to reign. People like me and other people, and it's happening, are going to find God because God's words are going to be fulfilled. And in order for them to be fulfilled, is literally allowing the beast, which is the devil, to fulfill his will, to allow him his 42-month reign in order to fulfill the word of God. And I've spoken to so many of my friends. They're not the same people anymore. They are so much more open-minded. I can talk to them about God now. I can talk to them about a coded reality. I can talk to them about injustice in the world. And I can do that now. I'm telling you, a year or so ago, they used to just say, headers, just give it a rest, mate. Stop. And now they're so like deep into it. And I'm like, people are questioning the reality now. They are becoming more open-minded. Yes, there's a lot of people still in love with the Matrix and just being eaten alive by the system. But I'm slowly seeing more people wake up, not to our level, not understanding the code and not questioning everything within the reality. But I told you, even my mum the other day were like, the electricity prices, they're robbing us and it's by design. She's aware of it. She knows. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. They're taking advantage of us. Just little things like that. You don't need to understand the code, but just be aware that, yeah, there are people in the world that do have it in for you. The world isn't perfect. So going back to these 17s, Connecticut won by 17 points. San Diego scored 59 points, which is the 17th prime number. UConn star player, who was so synced to this code, which I posted weeks ago, he won the Final Four most outstanding player. And in this game, he scored 17 points. So again, if Adama Sanogo knew at the beginning you're getting 17 points, or Alex Caraban knew he was going to get 5 rebounds and 5 points and play 30 minutes, there's not a chance that they know. Maybe Adama Sanogo knows because he's the top star in all of it. Then he will go on to the NBA. He might know. Someone like Alex Caraban, he's going to be, who knows what he's going to be doing? Might work in marketing or something. So 17 connects to 7. It's the 7th prime number. And San Diego picked up their 7th loss of the season. So they ended the season with 7 losses. And Skull and Bones are also known as Order 322. And when you add up those numbers in numerology, 3 plus 2 plus 2, it gets you 7. And I've told you, like, I'll get into Tom Brady and why he retired with 7 rings and why his 7th ring was with the Buccaneers that has the same logo as Skull and Bones. Someone like Brady, I think he knows what's going on. And I've told you, I think he's a fallen angel. And people laugh, but I'm like, all right, fine, but Lucifer was cast out of heaven with 33.3% of the angels. Brady retired with 333 days left in the year. He made 333 million. He won his last Super Bowl February the 7th, 2-7, 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. His first ever game, he lost 10-3, the 27th prime. He retired after the 103rd NFL season. So this guy was born in 1977. And I've shown you his code is so perfect. The greatest ever footballer in the NFL. What if Brady snapped his leg? Hey, happy face man, you're doing amazing work with those logos. I'll do that either by the time I get back to Mexico or just as I get back. So what if Brady snapped his leg? What if he died? What if he fell out of love with the game? What if he didn't want to partake in rituals anymore? He wouldn't have had that perfect code. It's like he had to retire 7-3 at age 45 after playing 23 seasons. 45 is the 9th triangular number, 23 is the 9th prime. In his last Super Bowl win, the Chiefs got 9 points. Who's writing that? Who's writing that? I'd love to know. I said the games are scripted. People say that, and they often tell us. Couldn't have scripted it any better. Is it scripture? Is it biblical? I think so. So earlier in the tournament, UConn Huskies knocked out top seed Gonzaga, Jesuit educated school, to drop them to 31-6. So Gonzaga, this Jesuit school, went out of the NCAA championship 31-6. The NCAA final was a span of 316 days before UConn's best player's upcoming 22nd birthday, Sonogo. UConn dropped Gonzaga to 31-6 on the 25th of March, 25-3. That's the 22nd triangular number. And the upcoming anniversary of 9/11, which I've told you numerous times, is the 22nd year anniversary. And I've said, look out for 9/11 2023 because it's exactly 42 months after coronavirus was declared a global pandemic. The beast reigns for 42 months. So look out for that date. I think 9/11 is when Jesus was born. I'll never be able to prove it, just like they can't prove that Jesus was born Christmas Day. 1225, 35 times 35. Satan Baphomet equal 35 in gematria. But I think it's 9/11 with the codes that I do and how big this number is. And it connects to 99. 9 times 11 is 99. And 9's the number of completion because it's the last single digit number. It's why George Orwell's last and final book was the book that he wrote, which has basically foreshadowed everything that's going on right now. If you haven't read any of Orwell's books, I read Animal Farm, which was one of his books, which was amazing. But his book 1984, it's funny, that's the year LeBron was born and the year Michael Jordan was drafted. That book by Orwell was his 9th and final book. And then he died. Number 9's huge, guys. It really is a huge number. And it's 3 times 3, and it's 3 plus 6. Your boy Tesla raves on about 3, 6, and 9. Can I tell you that Tesla existed? Can I tell you he was one of the good guys? No, I can't. But I can give you his quotes and give you his numbers that they've presented. John 3:16. That's why 3:16 is so big. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. I'm now thinking about my eternity, guys. I'm not necessarily thinking about whether I get to 75. My bro said that today. He said, Ad, you're doing well, aren't you? I'm like, yeah, I've got a website. I've got my coaching company. I teach. He said, you're saving money like in savings. I said, I don't do that. But what about when you're 70 and you're struggling and you're not as fit as you are and you might not have influence online? So I don't worry about that. Personally, I won't be shocked if I'm not here. But I trust the universe. I'll be all right. I've always been all right. And if I'm not all right, I think pretty much everyone will be struggling with my work rate and the talent that I have. So he was like, yeah, but put some money aside. I was like, well, I'm not a big timer. I do have money. I just don't have it in like a savings account. I live each day as if it's my last a lot of the time. And I don't mean that in YOLO, you only live once, but I don't think about, oh, if I'm 70 and I don't own a house. I told you I gave my house to my ex-wife. $330,000 house. I said, you have it, because I left her. I could have just taken that and bought a new house, smaller. I gave her it. I don't worry about that stuff. I trust God. I trust God. I do. I'm not just saying that for the sake of saying it. And when I go is when I go. So Yale, so connected to Skull and Bones. Yale University is a private, of course it is, Ivy League research university in New Haven, Connecticut. And of course, the Connecticut Huskies won the NCAA championship in the basketball. It's founded in 1701. Yale is the third, don't know why I'm holding up 4 fingers, the third oldest institution of higher education in the United States, and one of the 9 colonial colleges chartered before the American Revolution. So I was speaking to my brother about the education system, university. It's the Masons. In Masonry, you have degrees, different degrees. You get a degree when you graduate. You can become a master Mason. You get a master's if you want to go to the next level of your studies. It's clear that they're behind the education system, which robs people and indoctrinates people, but also in many ways helps people as well, like with their social skills. Of course, it helps them get a job, but it's how they do us with the system. Well, you can't get that job because you don't have a degree. Like judging people for a piece of paper. When most people go to university, get drunk, party, have sex with different girls or guys, and then week before they have to do their assignments, they do them, and they still get like a 2-1. I don't think it's a good judgment of a person's character if they have a decent degree. I've seen it with my mates. I had a mate who was just partying every night, very smart guy, and he managed to get an unbelievably high grade. And half the time he didn't turn up to lectures. Imagine if you didn't turn up to work. Anyway, the reason why Connecticut won and why this is so connected to Skull and Bones is Yale turns 322 years old this year. 322. Skull and Bones also go by the name Order 322. All right. That's why Super Bowl 57 this year was played with 322 days left in the year. So Dan Hurley, who's the head coach of the Huskies, he was named the head coach on 3/22/2018. So 322. The UConn, all right? Huskies coach was hired 322. And this year, Yale turns 322 years old, which is in Connecticut, where the Huskies play. And Skull and Bones are also known as 322. So the Georgia Guidestones, your GG for your 77. That's why you have the G7 Summit for your 77. I'll get into that later. The Georgia Guidestones were erected 43 years ago in 1980. And they came down on George Bush Jr.'s 76th birthday, which falls on 7/6. Much love to Kenya. She has the same birthday as George Bush Jr. You can't make this stuff up. Told you my girlfriend's called Kenya. Elizabeth found out she was going to become the queen while she was in Kenya. She was the queen of Kenya. You can't make this up. I'm telling you the stuff that I've presented to you about my own life shows you we live in a coded reality. So Skull and Bones in gematria equals 76. The Huskies won 76-59. They won with 76 points. I'm talking about 76. This is pre-code, guys. They're even on about 76. And they win with 76 points. This is why I say, without the ego involved, it's like, this ain't just calling who's going to win. This isn't just saying UConn are going to win and they were the favorite, because I said it weeks ago. This is showing you just how coded it is. That's what it should be about, guys. If people took away like odds, like yesterday I was 4 from 4 in the NBA. No, 3 from 3 in the NBA and Liverpool. 4 out of 4 on 4-4. And I was with my brother today, who was born exactly 16 months after me. 4 times 4 is 16. And if there were no odds involved, or if the odds were always the same for both teams, people would think I'm an absolute genius. But that's the problem with the gambling part of it. It takes people away from the code. Yeah, that's an incredible code. It's perfect, but they were minus 400, so it don't really matter, does it? I couldn't do anything with it. What do you mean you couldn't do anything with it, with the code? And learn from it. Let me go back to this code, because then I'll read your comments. So George Bush Jr., he was the 43rd US president. And he was the president during 9/11. Remember, the Queen died 911 days after coronavirus was declared a pandemic. On 3/11, 3 times 11 is 33. 33 times 3 is 99. 9 times 11 is 99. So Bush was the 43rd US president during 9/11. This NCAA tournament, which was won by Connecticut, where Skull and Bones in Yale, it ended, guys, on 4-3, which many biblical experts like to believe Jesus died and resurrected on that date, which is Gabriel Jesus' birthday, like Jesus. Gabriel's the archangel. So Tom Brady, so heavily connected to Skull and Bones, he won Super Bowl 55 at age 43, which I called a year before. I always tell you that because that's a huge call with what I did when I never watched the NFL. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they play in Florida, which gets you 43. But they have the Skull and Bones logo. They have the skull with the 2 swords and it looks just like the Skull and Bones logo. And Brady obviously retired with 7 rings, like I told you. Like Saturn has 7 rings. It connects to Saturn. So the Huskies coach Hurley, he won the national championship as a coach 31 years after his brother Bobby did it for the second time as a player. Don't know how I find this knowledge, but I find it. I was born on my dad's 31st birthday. I was with him today. What a guy. By the way, he's about to turn 68. And I was like, all wars have begun on 68 date emoji, the world wars. My sister, her birthday's 420 on Hitler's birthday. And it's like, oh my goodness. It's like, is God just, does he communicate with me? Or am I just that synced up with the code? Or am I just reaching? Am I just reaching because I am so good with numbers and I can connect anything? That's a possibility. I have to be open to the fact that could be a possibility, that I can connect anything with numbers. I want to say a huge shout out to Thomas Lockwood. He just messaged me. This guy is like, if I lived here, I think he'd be one of my best mates because he has a similar personality. He's very funny. He's easygoing and he's modest. I know I was egotistical before, even like 6 months ago. Tomorrow I'm seeing him in Leeds. First time I've ever met him. We're going to play pool. And I said I'm going to kick his ass because I still have that competitive streak. I'll always do that. But he sent me an image of the place. And he went, I've booked it. And then he sent me the image and he went, oh my word. There's like a painting in the background with a guy with one eye. And he said, one-eyed symbolism. And I was like, yeah. Yeah, the balls, they put them in a triangle, the illuminated pyramid, the 6 pockets for Satan. Just a bit of a laugh about it. But yeah, he's a good guy and he's a cracking coder. I also want to give a big shout out to, I know there's loads of people, but a guy in my community called Top Secrets. And he coded Werner to score against Dortmund today. And both Thomas and your boy Topsy, they both said Dortmund won't win this. Bayern got knocked out of the tournament. Everyone thinks Dortmund are going to go on and win this tournament now, the cup. And they were like, Dortmund aren't winning. And I've just seen now that Leipzig are winning 2-0. They just scored in the 98th minute. The Queen died 9-8. And Werner scored. So I've said this numerous times before. Thank you for the code you post. You ain't always going to be right. But when you are right, I hope you feel great level of satisfaction that people do appreciate what you're doing. You ain't always going to be right. Calling who's going to score, who's going to win. You ain't always going to be right. But if you show that perseverance and love for the code, if you love the code, all right, you're going to keep putting out the code. You're going to keep swinging your bat. And sometimes you'll ping it out of the park. Sometimes you'll strike out with it. Pick that bat back up. And I know a lot of people in this community, they learn about it. They think it's incredible. They do some codes, they miss, and they give up. What a waste of time this is. I just did this code. It took me 2 hours. It lost. I'm not bothering with this. This is nonsense. I'm going to go back to living in the Matrix. No. If you do this for the right reasons, like me, you're doing it for the right reasons. It's not just financially driven. The right reasons. You care. You want to learn the code. You want to get closer to God. You want to help other people. Thomas Lockwood had a prime example of, he said Leeds were going to beat Forest. He told me, I told him as well. I also told him Brighton were going to win, and they did. I was kind of like, ugh. I said Brighton would win. I said Leeds would win. I said Chelsea wouldn't win. But I only posted the Chelsea-Liverpool one. I don't like posting too much, although I did 4 games yesterday. And he went, as soon as he saw Forest scored, he was like, Leeds win. The odds say it. And he was telling all of his friends, guys, all of you, get on Leeds. Get on Leeds. They're going to win. And he's messaging them all. And then he didn't do it. He's like, geez, I haven't even done it myself. I'm too busy trying to help them. As soon as he's about to do it, Leeds scored. And then they won. So he was going out of his way to help his friends with it. And I think for Thomas, if he can wake up 1 or 2 of his friends, that's way more than him winning 50 quid or 100 quid or 300 quid or whatever it is. If he can wake up one morning and his friend goes, Thomas, I've got a code for this guy. It's like, what? You believe in it now? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you've really influenced me. You've really made me change the way I see the world. That I'm getting my whole body's in chills. They're the emails that get to me. Like, geez, I've changed somebody's whole world view. Not won them 70 quid. Where someone's going to say, yeah, Leeds were at home anyway and Forest aren't great. If they can turn around and say that to you, oh my word. It is special. Like I said, my brother saying, all right, ads, I think we live in a coded reality. But the players don't know. At least not all of them do. And you're like, all right, now we can sit down and talk about this, where I'm not the expert, I'm not the big timer, I'm not telling him who's going to win or what to bet on all the time and act like I know everything. You can actually connect with people. That's what it's about, connection. Which was, oh my word, my favorite. Sorry, mum. My favorite restaurant growing up, the restaurant I always went to with my dad was called The Connection. I used to get a calzone, garlic mushrooms, sparkler special. It was called Connection. The Connection. That's what it's all about. Connecting. And what's the devil all about? Disconnecting. Disconnecting us. So anyway, I've gone off topic again. The Huskies, they ended the season with 31 season wins. San Diego stayed on 11 all-time tournament wins in March Madness. The majority of those wins that they've ever got in this tournament came this year. Not because they have a great coach or the players were just so amazing. Because of the code, they were meant to get to the final. They were meant to lose in the final. And they were meant to lose by 17 points for whatever reason. 31's the 11th prime number. 11 is the 5th prime. These fives is what lit me up when I was doing this code weeks ago. UConn won their 5th championship and improved to 5-0 in national championship games after beating 5th seed San Diego in what was their coach's 5th season with them, who played 5 years of college basketball, including a redshirt year at Seton Hall. The reason I emphasize the redshirt year is because red is so important this year, connected to the third horseman, which appears on a red horse. Brady, super connected to the code. He won his 5th Super Bowl in Houston. And the NCAA final took place in Houston. Am I being too loud, Mum? Because I'm going to be done in 15 minutes. All right, sorry. What are you having? A cup of tea? Are you having a cup of tea? What a good shout. So this was the 67th game of this season's March Madness. That's my dad's age right now. 67's the 19th prime. The top scoring player in the final was UConn's Tristan Newton. He scored 19 points. Scored 19 points. I've told you COVID-19 connects to moon cycles, the 19-year moon cycles. In gematria, AI, an abbreviation of artificial intelligence. 19, A the first letter, I the ninth, 19. So Connecticut ratified the US Constitution on January the 9th, 1788, on 19. I've shown you Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip got their first vaccinations for COVID-19 on 19. Again, did they? Did they not? I don't know. That's what they told us. It was the 5th of the original 13 states to join the Union. 13, what an enormous number. I told you the US turns 247 years old this year on July the 4th, and that's 247 is the 13th pentagonal number. The US have been to 12 major wars. I do believe they're going to go to the 13th. Triggered this year, but it's going to be in our lifetime. No doubt about it in my mind and my soul. 19 connects to 8. 19 is the 8th prime. And Connecticut ended the season with 8 losses. I talked about the number 8 a lot in my World Cup book, especially with England. Got knocked out in the quarterfinal and how they're so synced to the number 8. Brady was born in 77. This final was 77 days after he played his last ever NFL game, which was on January the 16th, where they lost to Dallas. Brady and the Bucks, they scored 14 points. If you remember, Brady got humiliated. Often these icons go out after getting humiliated. I think about like when Ric Flair initially retired and Shawn Michaels retired him. He just got destroyed in that fight. And they often lose their last fight when they retire. The fight before they retire, they often lose. Because if they win, they're like, well, let's go again. The loser's like, okay, it's done. It's done. And September the 11th, 2001. Remember, Brady made his NFL debut right after 9/11 in 2001, and then he won the Super Bowl right after 9/11 with the Patriots after the Patriots Act was signed. So 9/11 2001, Flight 77, Brady born in 77, his final 77 days after his last game. Flight 77 reportedly, keyword, hit the 77-foot tall Pentagon in Washington, D.C. on the 77th Meridian West after taking off at 8:20 a.m. and crashing at 9:37, 77 minutes later. Like, come on, that's not man doing that. And if so, why? All right, great question, that. If it is man, if so, why? Why have it be Flight 77? All right. Why have it hit a 77-foot tall Pentagon? So that means whoever designed that was in on this all the way back when it got designed, which I think it opened on 9/11, the Pentagon actually. It was constructed that day. Or it opened. And then the 77th Meridian West, and then it's able to crash 77 minutes later. All right, you might tell me, nah, we don't know. We don't know it set off at that time. We don't know it crashed at that time. Well, we know it's the 77th Meridian West. Some people might say to me, well, do you know it's 77 foot tall, the Pentagon? Are you going to measure it, Illusion? No. If so, why? Why have they lied? Why is the all those 77s? Why? What purpose does it serve? If numbers have no relevance, which people tell me, numbers have no relevance, you're reaching, you're just searching, they don't mean anything, then why are all those 77s there? Then they must have relevance. The numbers clearly have relevance to our reality. It's just who's behind them. So Brady retired on February the 1st, which I predicted 18 months before. Goes unnoticed. Don't really need the credit, but I don't think anyone's given me any for that. To call a guy's retirement day. Yeah, well, he was old. He was always going to retire. No, I called his date. Not after the season. I said the date. The date. So Brady retired on 2-1. Remember, he retired 7-3 in Super Bowls, the 21st prime. He won his last Super Bowl to become 7-3 in the 21st year of the 21st century, and then he retires on the first day of Black History Month. And I knew they'd do that with mockery. They seem to, whoever it is, man, the devil combination, they seem to mock African Americans, or they have done historically. But I feel like they're reversing that now, as days go by. So UConn's best player, Adama Sanogo, he wears number 21. And I told you, he got basically the player of the tournament. And he just turned 21. Do you know when he turned 21? 2/12/23. He turned 21 on Super Bowl 57. Guys. This next bit gave me goosebumps that I found. Brady played his last game this year on 1/16, and he retired 7-3 in Super Bowls. UConn's head coach, Hurley, was born 1/16/73. January the 16th, 73. So literally Brady played his last ever NFL game on UConn's coach's birthday, who was born 1/16/73. Brady's last ever game was 1/16 and he retired 7-3. Barcelona losing to Real Madrid 4-0. Yeah, not a major shock. Barcelona are going to win that league. They've got to keep Real Madrid prestigious, give them those trophies, because the fan base, the energy that people give to teams like Real Madrid. So let them argue, yeah, Barcelona won league. Yeah, but we beat you 4-0 and knocked you out the cup. The devil needs that. He needs that. He wants you talking about this stuff. He wants the divide. Barcelona losing 4-0. Oh, someone in my community had Benzema to score. Let me find what they said. So someone in my community today had Benzema, somebody had Timo Werner. Let me see who I did. I'm not going to read out the old code. I'm almost certain somebody had Benzema. Let me see who it was so I can say thank you. Somebody had Benzema to score. He just recently scored 3 goals in 7 minutes. He got a hat-trick in 7 minutes. Who is it? Oh my word, it's Topsy again. I'll just read the opening line. He's done it again. Karim Benzema scored a hat-trick 3 days ago on 4-2, and I think he will score again today. His fourth appearance in the Copa del Rey this season. He can get his second goal. Well, he's got more than that. Wow, this is an incredible code. I'm just going to have to thank him. Top secrets, you've outdone yourself tonight, mate. This is what I mean, like, the people in my community, man. Like, the community is just wonderful, and when they get it right, I'm buzzing for them. So let me just check this game out. So he scored. Sorry for going off topic like I do. 4-1, oh my word. So it's 4-1 in aggregate, that big skull and bones number. So he got an hat trick. Did they play that? Surely they played their best teams, didn't they? Yeah. Yeah, it's what they have to do, guys. It's what they have to do. They have to keep you talking. They have to keep you talking and balancing it all out. So, yeah, it's happened a few times where this has happened. Where, like, a team wins the league, but their biggest rival smashes them home and away. So you go, yeah, but we did put 9 past you in 2 games. You couldn't beat us, could you? Yeah, we won league, and that's what matters. Who cares? Who really cares who wins these leagues at this point? You know what I mean? We really shouldn't, but it's hard when you've grown up with it and you're attached to it. And again, I've told you a lot of my friends here, they're huge Bradford City fans. They're all excited. They're in the playoffs. They could get automatic promotion. I don't want to tell them to stop going. I just won't watch it. So they invite me to go to the games. I say, I'm sorry, I don't want to go. And they can't have a go at me for not wanting to go. I can't have a go at them for going. And again, if there is some sort of organic element to it and it's a code where the players are unaware of it, it's not as bad as them knowing because they're not intentionally deceiving you. They're just going out there playing football. But I'm not sure fans would love the game as much if they knew the code the way I knew it. If they could go to the game before and spend an hour on a code and go, oh, this is going to be 3-1 to Bradford, and they watch it play out, maybe it'll be a different level of enjoyment. Because we don't get every code right, but this is wild to me. Brady won Super Bowl 55. UConn coach, he stayed on 55 all-time losses with UConn. And I know a lot of people in this community go, you can get his 56 loss, Pope equals 56, Society of Jesus equals 56. Just in the old mindset of it's all about the Society of Jesus. No, 55 is enormous. It's enormous, and it connects to 10. 55, the 10th Fibonacci triangular number. 5 plus 5 is 10. Satan equals 55 and 10. So when I saw the Brady connections, and then I saw he could stay on 55 losses with UConn, I was like, this is looking really good. But that Adama Sanogo was born on the 43rd day of the year, on a day that leaves 322 days left in the year. Super Bowl 57 day was his 21st birthday. I've told you, George Bush, 43rd president, Brady wins his last Super Bowl, 43. It's funny how Brady won his last Super Bowl at age 43, and 4 times 3 is 12, which is his jersey number, and 1 plus 2 is 3, and he lost 3 Super Bowls. So UConn's best player is Adama Sanogo. It's basically Adam. All right. And I think it connects to the Sandy Hook. I think just me saying those words there is going to get me in trouble. Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting occurred on December the 14th, 2012. All right. If you remove that 0, it's 212, which is his birthday. In Newtown, Connecticut, United States, when 20-year-old Adam Lanza, all right, Adam, and if you take the last letter of Lanza, you get Adama, like Adama Sanogo. He shot and killed 26 people, which is 26 letters in the alphabet. God in gematria gets you 26. I've told you my Patreon got taken down on the 20th of June, 26, 2 months and 6 days after my 36th birthday. So that was in Connecticut. The Sandy Hook shooting was in Connecticut, and that connected to this NCAA championship. So literally 11 years ago. And look, it took place on 12/14, which gets you 26, and 26 people were killed. If that did happen, completely coded reality. If it didn't, why they're lying to us? This was the 84th edition of the tournament. You could say they were lying to install fear. Fear means that you're easier to control. The Bible always talks about how you shouldn't live in fear. If you have true faith in God, true, not just say, yeah, I believe in God, true faith in God, you don't have fear. You hear that from me. I don't. I don't. And I would, I'd still have it if I didn't find God. So I had fear at the beginning of my journey on this, a lot. I felt like helpless when I started seeing all the satanic connections with the world. I was like, oh, Jesus, nothing we can do about it. Yeah, you can still have faith in God. So this was the 84th edition of the tournament. UConn beat Faves Gonzaga on the 84th day of the year. So they knocked out the favourites. And the UConn coach, he did that in his 156th game with them, which connects to 9/11, because 9/11 is 156 prime. I've told you Salah did so well for so long because he's born the 15th of June, 15/6. And that will be one element. It's not just because he has that birthday, because you'll say, well, this guy's born 15/6. Why is he not getting 30 goals a season? He's the Egyptian king. He connects to royalty. He's got the Middle East connection. He's got the 15/6. He's got a lot of numbers, Salah. It's not just one thing. But this is the stuff that I do. I was keeping an eye on the score. This is the night where I didn't sleep. I slept 1 hour because I was like, all that work I've done to this code. If they get beat here, it will be a punch in the kidney for me if somehow they get beat. And I checked about about 15 minutes of the first half. I was like, okay, they're up by about 8. Oh, that looks good. The odds tell me they win. Nice. If they would have been down by 8, I'd have been like, oh no. But I took a screenshot when the score was 43-30. Told you how big the number 43 was within the code. But 43-30 is like 4-3-3. This game was 43 weeks and 3 days before the upcoming anniversary of Brady retiring. And 433, like 43-30, is the 84th prime, and it was the 84th edition of the tournament. And I'm almost certain I told a friend in the US, I said, I won't be shocked at one point if UConn are up 43-30 and up by 13 because of the 84th prime. They're like, what 84th prime? I said 433. And it was. I think that's why I got so excited. And I looked at the time. It was in the second half. It said 16:04 on the clock. Brady got drafted 16:04, 16th of April. I'm like, oh my goodness. And he wins his last Super Bowl at age 43. I'm like, how am I noticing these things? I don't care about college basketball. I never watched the NFL. If you would have asked me at 18, on 20, have you heard of Tom Brady? I don't think I would. I think I said no. I didn't know anything about the NFL. I remember watching my first few games. I was like, what is this? Why do they keep stopping it? Like, why do they have to get to that yellow line on the screen? Obviously, it's the 10-yard line now. It's like, what, they have to get past that? I was like, how many attempts did they get? And I was like, why are they throwing the ball forwards? Because in rugby, it goes backwards or sideways. I just couldn't get into it. The more I understood it, the more I actually did begin to respect the sport. And I actually enjoyed watching the games before I just gave up professional sports. But now I'm like, I know Brady's retirement date. I know everything about, like, he gets divorced when his wife's 42. I know when he played his first game, how many appearances he's had, how many games he's lost, how many Super Bowls he's won. I know everything about his kids. Like, it's like, why me? What happened? How did I go from never hearing of Tom Brady to probably knowing more about Brady than the majority of diehard Brady fans? I don't know. Sometimes you don't have to know. You just have to be grateful that you do know. So Brady retired on the 32nd day of the year, which is that 2-1. And that's Sonogo, was the superstar in the tournament, number 21, age 21. And San Diego ended the season with 32 wins because they were 32-7. 32 connects to 84, the 84th edition, because 8 times 4 is 32. We just had the World Cup, which had 8 groups of 4, 32 teams in it. The NFL has 32 teams. It's got to be a reason, guys. And like, 32 connects to the Scottish Rite Masonry, 32 degrees. There's a sight of Jesus, there's 32 rays in its logo. There's going to be something with it. I know it connects to 6 for 3 times 2. But I do believe Jesus' number's 33. And then the devil might have 32. God's number 7, Satan has 6. So God and Jesus, same thing, but they're one step ahead of the devil. Always will be. Always have been, always will be. So I've shown you WrestleMania syncs up to all these major sporting events. Really have, especially with Super Bowls, because it's around the same time. WWE Studios, okay, is located in Connecticut, where Yale is. The Connecticut Huskies UConn win this NCAA final. And they won it in both teams' 39th season game. All right? Because Huskies ended 31-8. 31 plus 8 is 39. And then you had San Diego 32-7. 32 plus 7, 39. And it was WrestleMania 39. And it concluded in 4-2. I told you, Vince McMahon had a Hitler tash. Check the image out. So it was 4th versus 5th seed as well. 45, that 9th triangular number. Brady retired at age 45. And I've given you all those 39s, both teams' 39th season game. When you add up the seed numbers for the teams UConn beat in the tournament, it added up to 39. That was someone on my website who gave me that. If you're watching, thank you. That wasn't me. I was like, what a find. So you got the 39s and the 45s. World War II began 39 and it ended in 45, the year Hitler died. Who died on the 21, who died exactly 21 years before the Church of Satan was founded. Another 21. I really believe that 21 is an enormous number. Remember Adele's biggest album is called 21. We always connect the 21 with the Jesuits. Yeah, there are big connections with 21 and the Jesuits. But 21 connects to 777 as well. 7 plus 7 plus 7. And then 2 plus 1's 3. There's your 7 and 3 for Brady. Again, another reason why he ended like that. That's not in my Brady book. I've got a Brady book I'm writing. I need to put that down. That's just hit me right now, and it's so basic. Give me a second. Brady retired 7 and 3 Super Bowls. He retired on 2-1, and he became 7 and 3 Super Bowls in the 21st year of the 21st century. 7 times 3 equals 21. How have I never done that? Brady retired 7 and 3 in Super Bowls. He retired on 2-1, and 7 times 3 is 21. How have I not connected that with my brain? Sorry, without sounding like a prick. Hey, Michael, how you doing, my brother? Much love to you. You get stronger every day, all right, bro? You'll get stronger every day. You're on God's team. He'll look after you. Just work on your faith in him. He'll work on you. All right? You ain't going to do this by yourself. When you're going through hard times, you ain't going to get through it just by yourself. All right? You need God, but you need yourself as well. You need both. So if demons are coming for you, demons will defeat a human being, just the human being in the flesh. If they come at you in the spirit and you're in the spirit and you wear God's armor, they'll turn around because they're wimps. They target weak people. So build up that armor, mate. Adam Eminem is the best rapper because he's talented. Well, unbelievably talented. Yeah, you can't deny the talent. Just his numbers and his symbolism and the stuff he talks about. I've told you he's talking about rape and underage sex and beating his wife and just causing a lot of anger. But a lot of his music was really good. I think Eminem's a woman. I think that's why they always put him in a dress. But yeah, is Eminem the best rapper in the world, or was he? Yeah, in my opinion, I think so. I coded his album cover. Obviously, Eminem didn't design his own album cover. I done a video on his album cover and what it represents and what it stands for. It's he works for the devil. He has said in a few songs he sold his soul to the devil. He has told us. Are you in Bradford? Yes, bro. I got here 28th of March. Been here about a week. If you're local, I'll meet you. I'm happy to meet people. Just don't kill me. I'm joking. I'm not afraid to meet people because I'm like I told you, when I go is when I'm supposed to go. So if you want to meet me and have a drink or have a laugh or kick a ball around, like I'm so busy. But if I can squeeze it in, I'll do it. If I can't, I'll be honest. Brother, my birthday is 616. Now, there's no such thing as like a bad number, I don't think. Oh, I'm born on this day. Am I evil? No, it's fine. It's fine. There's many ways you can look at that number. 22 is a master number. 6 plus 16 is 22. It's a beautiful number, 22. It's a master builder number. So yeah, again, it's not black and white. The beast reigns for 42 years, and that's why it was funny that Roman Reigns continued his reign as champion on 4-2 by beating Cody Rhodes, who's probably going to beat him in the next major pay-per-view when he takes him on. Cody Rhodes will beat him because he is the American nightmare, and America's about to get ruined. People are not ready for it. But again, my mate Nathan, my best mate, he said, he's where I am. He said, I want it. I want the system to collapse. I want it to happen. That's why I get along with him so well. Say, I want it to happen. Let's do it. Because people are going to wake up. They're going to start seeing it for what it is. They're not going to have any way of denying it anymore. It's very easy to deny things when you're not involved in them. When you're involved in them and you see what's playing out, you start asking questions. When your world's collapsing, you start asking questions. Why? A lot of people find God when they're struggling. A lot of people, unfortunately, take their own lives. So go to drugs, whatever it may be. But when shit hits the fan, you start asking questions. Most people in England have lived this comfortable life. Why would I ask questions? Why do I care what's going on in Iraq or Iran or Afghanistan or the US? It don't bother me. I'm the other side of the world. I'm good. I'm really comfortable. Once people start really struggling, because the whole world's going to collapse. But I think the West before. Your major countries, US, England, nations like that are going to collapse. People are not going to know what to do, and they're going to ask questions. So bring it on. Collapse. It will collapse. It's set up to collapse. It's been set up to collapse. So anyways, the beast reigns for 42 months, and Connecticut became the first national champion in 42 years since Indiana of 1981 to win all its NCAA tournament games by at least 13 points. I posted that in my code to basically imply there's a phenomenal chance that they win by 13 or more, and they won by 17. All right, because there's no accidents. When I do a lot of my codes, especially for major finals, I read the stats they give me. They didn't need to tell me that Connecticut can become, it says like Connecticut can become the first national champion in 42 years since Indiana of 1981 to win all of its NCAA tournament games by at least 13 points. There's absolutely no need to put that stat in there. I'm like, that's a really interesting stat. 42 is everywhere. Everywhere. This code connects to WrestleMania that concluded on 4-2. Are they telling me that? And I was like, part of me in my head, this is where sometimes it'll annoy me because I'll see something so beautiful. I'll say, wait, that makes me think they're going to win by 13. And then they win by 17 and someone goes, yeah, but you said they were going to win by 13. No, yeah, I also said U10. Like the spread was -7. So it's unfortunate you have to be very careful in what you say. Like I had Bayern Munich to beat Dortmund. It finished 4-2. And my brother was like, okay, what's the score going to be? I was like, oh, there's a nice riddle for 1-0. So we're in the pub. I went, wow, Bayern are up 3-0. He went, yeah, but you said they were definitely winning 1-0. I said, no, I didn't definitely say that. said there was a nice riddle for that, but I like Bayern to win. So, do you know what I mean? It's like you've got to be careful how you present the work because it's so easy for people to just jump on you if you're not perfect with the code. But then if you say just Bayern are going to win, they go, Bayern's own record's amazing. Of course they're going to win. That don't mean anything. I'm like, all right, then go put your 10 grand on it if they're definitely going to win. Whoa, don't mean they're definitely going to win. I'm like, so it's not as obvious as you say then. It's not like a gimme. Well, it is a gimme. And then you just find yourself laughing like, oh, wait, it is a gimme, but okay, sure, it's a gimme. You have to just play along. And then it finished 4-2. And I was talking to my brother and Simon all day about 42. I told you I was in Huddersfield, and Thomas Lockwood said the only game in the Football League that finished 4-2 in England was Huddersfield. And he went, oh my goodness, I didn't notice that. I didn't pay attention to Huddersfield. I don't care, unless I coded them. So, yeah, sorry for I've just spent an hour and a half talking about so many things. I probably should have done this as an individual video for you to see. If you're on my website, you've seen it. I'll try and do a screenshot. It's going to take about 3-4 screenshots to share it on Twitter for you to read if you're not on my site, because you've got to read it. But the ultimate message here before I go is we live in a coded reality. We do. And I think it's the God behind it, and the devil's infiltrated the code. And I think man's aware of the code who works for the devil. I think people like me is aware of the code who's working for God, and most of you in the chat, because you're using this code to try and lead people to God. People might tell me you're leading them to gambling. And yeah, there's a tiny aspect of that. What I do might do that. I have to say, yeah, my codes might influence people to do that, but they have free will. I keep telling you, do whatever you want with my codes. Take my codes, learn from my codes, share my codes, ignore my codes, laugh at my codes. Bet your whole bottom dollar on a code if you did. Not my problem. And if you win, you don't have to thank me either. So I just put out what feels right to me. I just want to ultimately show you we live in a coded reality. We're in a spiritual war. The system's going to collapse. You've got nothing to be afraid of if you believe in God. Can you get prepared for it? In some ways, yeah. In some ways, you can. But again, okay, I'll stock up on food. But what if that just goes? What if they just stop allowing you to buy it with that mark of the beast? Then what? But again, there's nothing wrong with having contingency plans. Being organized, preparing for the worst. There's nothing wrong with that. But you're not going to have everything planned perfectly to overcome everything. But I've told you, I can visualize. I have these moments where I'm like, I could see myself just laying out on the beach, homeless, with a Bible, and be all right. I really do. If I can somehow find food, and you might go, you shouldn't settle for that. That you deserve better than that. I'm at that point of enlightenment. I don't want it because I could fly home to Mexico tomorrow and go live on the beach and read a Bible. But if it came to that, I'm not afraid. And it somewhat excites me, but again, no, I'd rather be in an apartment than living on a beach, especially at night when it's cold. But you'll find a way. You'll find a way. And again, if you really believe you go out by a code, then there's nothing to really fear if you are going to go when you're supposed to go. And why go through your life fearing death? Quick thoughts on Newcastle win over the Hammers. I'll have to look at it. Man United won as well. Of course, 1-0. How many times does Ten Hag win 1-0? Wait, so Man United's Ten Hag. Ten Hag's Man United just won 1-0 because number 10 Rashford scored. What's that put him on 53 points, doesn't it? Does it? Oh, man. As obvious as that. 53 points, 16 wins, 53 the 16th prime. And they've got 42 goals now, Man United. Man United have got 42 goals. They just won 10-0. The Beast reigns for 42 months. Satan gets you 10. Number 10 scored for Ten Hag's Red Devils. It just rolls off the tongue at this point. Brentford stayed on 10 wins. Yeah. Fourth now against ninth. 4-9 for your revelation for your 7x7. It's just all there, man. Man United, 28 matches played, stayed on 7 losses. World War I began 28-7. In regards to Newcastle, what am I looking at? Well, yeah, they stayed on 11 draws, 3 losses. Coronavirus declared a global pandemic 11-3. They might stay on that for a while, actually. Who's the next game? Newcastle. Oh, they're playing Brentford. They're playing Brentford away, who have, I think, one of the best home records in the league. I don't know. 5-1. 5-1. Why? Look at that. Let me just do this before I go. Let me just look at this lineup. It's no better than West Ham's on paper. Nick Pope, okay, very good keeper. Of course, he wears 22. Not number 1, guys. 22. The master number, Pope. I always talk about Pope Francis. I just talked about the 4-3-3 being the 84th prime, and now Newcastle lined up 4-3-3. And they've won 5-1 and Brady won Super Bowl 51. This is just laughable. Nick Pope, Kieran Trippier, okay, played for England. Fabian Schär, Botman, I'm guessing he came through lower league. I've never heard of him, or the youth team. Dan Burn, bang average. Longstaff, bang average. Like Bruno Gomes, from what I've heard, he's good. Joe Linton, he was getting abused by Newcastle fans for ages. Now he's half decent. Murphy, half decent. Callum Wilson, okay, he scores, but half decent. Maximan, I think he's great. I think he's really good. And they're third in the league with that starting 11. I don't even know. Matt Ritchie on the bench, Matt Taggart, Joe Willock, although he's having a good season. Like what? Their squad's no better than West Ham's. Their squad is no better than West Ham's. Newcastle have won 11 Premier League away games against West Ham. Boy, West Ham suffered their 15th league defeat of the season, 1-7, drawn 6. They have to give you that for the 7x6 for your 42. This is Newcastle's joint biggest away win in the Premier League. I think they beat Coventry 5-1 in 1998. So I'm sure West Ham fans were booing. Newcastle get these new owners. They've not really invested that much money at all. They've got a very bang average Premier League squad. And they're third and nobody cares. They got to a final. It baffles me. So that's just what I saw there. The Rashford thing, I'm sure if I would have looked really carefully at that Man United game, where's my brother? We're in the place with him, the Italian restaurant. I said, bro, actually, Man United have won this game. He went, good shot. He has banter, a good shot. I was 4-7. Adam, 4-7. I said, yeah. I just looked, I said, show me at league table. And there's something that caught my eye. Sometimes I just do that. I look at the league table, I go, boom. Rashford did the finger to the head, did he? Yeah, I'll break it down before. I keep saying before I go, but I really do have to go. This celebration is the mark of the beast. So let me just break it down clearly for you. All right. People tell me, because they don't know anatomy, there's too many people in the world don't understand anatomy, which frustrates me at times, especially when they accuse me of saying, you can't say that. It's like, I can, because I know anatomy. So Marcus Rashford is scoring. I told you all before the season began, he'd have the season of his life, he'd be one of the best players in the league. He'll break all of his records for Man United because of his numbers. And he's already broken all of his records. So the temple, which is here, which they're pointing to with the right hand, all right, it's located on the side of the head behind the eye, between the forehead and the ear. So it's part of the forehead. And he points with his right hand to it. People think it's like a gunshot. It ain't that. It's the mark of the beast. So what it is Revelation 13:17. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And it's talking about how this, Revelation 13:16, and he causeth all, this is the devil, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand, always point with the right hand or in their foreheads. So Rashford's getting his right hand pointing to his temple, which is connected to the forehead. People think this is just your forehead. No, it's not. When you understand anatomy, it's not. Your temples are part of your forehead. I've told you Rashford's got all those connections with number 10, connects with Satan, plays for the Red Devils. And for whatever reason, he's being used by the devil. Or, I told you, anyone being used by the devil is also being used by God. Because I told you what Revelation 17:17 is. All right? For God hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree to give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of God shall be fulfilled. So if Rashford's doing this and is basically working for the beast during his reign, he's still working for God because God has used the beast to fulfill his word. And when you see it like that, they're not just working for the devil. Everything comes to God as well. Everything, because the devil created. No, God created Lucifer, that became the devil. So yeah, Rashford's working for both, but ultimately it's spreading the word of the devil during the mark of the beast. But it's biblically, it's written, it's got to happen. If you believe in the Bible, this mark of the beast has to happen in order for Jesus to return. If there's no mark of the beast, Jesus is not going to return tomorrow. There's got to be the mark of the beast. So my amazing dad, who told me, you told me about Revelation, it's very interesting. But like I said, we've had wars before. We had World War I, World War II. We had the Spanish flu. All right, we had the global recession. My dad's very smart. He said, well, I didn't see Jesus return then, did I? Kind of smug. I was like, yeah, but you didn't have a mark of the beast then. He was like, what's that? You didn't have a mark of the beast. You didn't have the chip that's going to come in your right hand or your forehead. That never happened in the 40s or the 50s, did it? Yeah, there was an economic crash because God always warns us. God will always warn us. It's not like a thief in the night that sneaks up on you. He always warns us. Maybe what happened back then was a warning of what's to come, planting seeds for us. Or maybe the devil did it in a way like, well, they're not going to believe it when it actually does happen because it's already happened somewhat before. So people are going to be naive. Do you know how many people are naive with all of this? Well, there was wars in the 40s and 1914 to 1918, and look, the country came back better than ever, stronger than ever. Look at Germany, it got destroyed and then came back, and it's one of the most powerful countries in the world. That's what's going to happen. We're going through our difficult time. We're having our pandemic. We're having our global economic crash. We're having our war. But it's all going to work out. No, what if this is the ultimate end times? And if there is that mark my word, if it does get to the point, and we're seeing, I saw in England, go for a curry, everyone's paying, boom, they put their card on it, boom, don't even put the PIN code in anymore. It's going to be that. But, oh, sorry, sir, you don't have enough money in your account. And who knows how it's going to get transferred there. When that happens, that's when you know. And when they start promoting it, which they will in our lifetime, you know, if you've ever listened to me and you watch me every week, I hope you say no to it. I hope you say no and go, okay, I don't want to do this and I don't want to be part of this game anymore. And just have faith in God and He'll look after you. That's what His celebration is. Let me check. Why does, just what they're saying, why does Rashford point to his head? Look, After scoring, Rashford stands still and he literally looks possessed and he points to his temple, which connects to Solomon's temple, which is biblical. That's why Solomon's scored a lot of goals for Fulham this season, where he got like 4 in a row. Sometimes with his eyes closed, which is even worse. Actually, no, it's worse when he's just like that because he looks like he's under MK Ultra. At least with his eyes closed, you can't see his eyes where he looks possessed. The celebration suggests he is hinting at his recent mental health struggles and how focusing on that has become a priority. That I've just found this out now. So supposedly, he's never said it. He's doing this because he's got mental health problems, yet he's having the season of his life. And then Saka's doing it, and Steph Curry's doing it, and Usain Bolt was doing it even before all of this. Really? So that's what it is? Again, they use words like this. The celebration suggests. What do you mean it suggests? It suggests? You can't just say that. Suggests. And then tell us, oh, that's what it is. Has he said it? It's talking about how Lukaku does it. Let's see. Let's try a different article. So he's having the season of his life, and what, he's got mental health problems. Right, go on. What have you got for us? Does Saka copy Rashford's celebration? The Arsenal star also pointed to his head after scoring against Manchester United in the Premier League. The celebration looked to be a carbon copy of Rashford's, who both missed penalties for England in the Euro 2020 final, by the way. Although it looked to be a compliment to his England teammate rather than a parody from Saka, Rashford and Saka were in the same boat in the summer of 2021 as they both missed penalties for England in the Euro 2020 final shootout against Italy. Both players were targeted by vile trolls after the match and have fought back to the top of their games, which I predicted. Go watch the videos. So it didn't even say anything there. It's not actually said anything there as to why they're pointing to the head, other than they both point to the head and they're having the seasons of their life. It's the devil, guys. It's the mark of the beast. So it must be coming because, again, God warns us. How else can he do it? He's not going to come and walk the streets of Bradford and tell you all. He's going to show you. And how can you show people? Through pro sports that are watched by billions of people. Billions of people watch pro sports. But God wins. Yeah, that's the ultimate message, Noel, that I have for you. We live in a coded reality. God wins. Pick a side. If you're salty with the actors, just don't watch them. Don't have anything to do with them. I was salty with professional sports. I stopped watching it. I was salty with Hollywood. I got rid of my TV. I refuse. You've got to identify what's winding you up and what's causing you anger. And if you can get rid of it, then why are you not? You have to identify what you don't like. And you have to identify what you do like and do it as often as you can. I've dragged this out. I'm knackered. I hope you enjoyed it. I covered a lot. I appreciate you all. Thank you, Top Secrets again. Thomas Lockwood, I'll be seeing you tomorrow. I need to give my girlfriend a call. Me Kenya. See if she's doing all right. I don't even know what time it is in Mexico right now. But yes, Johnny G, all these male athletes sit down to pee. I'm sure they do. Headshot bang, again, it could, if you think it's the headshot bang, it could connect to war, where a lot of people like literally got shot in the head. I think it's deeper than that. I remember Rashford was working for the government, giving out free food to the schools, which connects to Revelation with the third horse. No, the second horse, which is famine. Oh no, the third horse is famine, the second horse is war. Who knows why it's Rashford? I don't know, but it's being used, whether he's aware of it or not. Cheers, Chigozi. Thanks for everything, mate. Take care, Simon. How are you? Not mad at them, Adam? because you're supposed to like love thy neighbor. And I've told you, I think the devil wants you to hate the world and hate mankind. I refuse to do it. I don't have to respect them or idolize them or look up to them or even necessarily help them. But I'm not going to hate on them. I used to. I went through that stage. It's almost what fueled me to do what I did. My hate for the system and those at the top of it fueled me to do my videos. Now I've got to focus more on God rather than the devil. A few people have said that to me. For somebody who's so obsessed with God, and I'm not obsessed, I don't like that word. Someone's so obsessed with God, you don't have to talk a lot about the devil. It was the devil that led me to God, and it was God that created the devil. So maybe my mindset is if I open people's minds to the fact that the devil exists, they might open their minds to the fact that God exists, because that was my journey, but everyone's journey is different. So maybe that's why I do focus on the devil, maybe more than I should. But ultimately, if you watch my videos at the end, when I do my videos where I have to edit them all, the last message is God wins. It's not the devil loses, it's God wins. That's the message. That's the ultimate message. And he does. And I believe that in my heart and soul. And I also believe in the devil, and I believe he's reigning right now. And if he's not, geez, what's it going to be like when he actually is? He's either reigning, guys, right now, or he's about to. Like he's setting it all up. He's like planning the party. Or he's literally actively reigning right now. But I don't know. I think we'll all know when he's really in full flow. We've got to be approaching it. We have to be approaching it if we're not already there. We'll see, won't we? All right, guys. Have you smoked weed? I tried it once in Amsterdam and once in Venice Beach. Didn't do anything to me. You know what I mean? It didn't like make me go, oh, or go crazy. Did it chill me? I'm pretty chilled anyway. Yeah. Have I ever bought it? No. Would I ever buy it? No. Have I ever done Class A drugs? Never. You only need one bad ecstasy tablet and you're gone. With some people. Never done it, but yeah, I was in Amsterdam. But I wasn't smoking it in Amsterdam. I had it in a chocolate brownie and a milkshake. Space cake. Jeez, how's that for a lunch? You like to cook, Divine? Yeah. It's a gift. My brother's a phenomenal cook. I'm very average. But the gift for cooking, yeah, that's a great gift. Illusion about to smuggle HP sauce to Mexico. I don't really have to smuggle it, mate. I can literally just put it in my bag. I don't have to smuggle it over. I'll get some Sarson's vinegar as well. I had that on my fish and chips today with curry sauce. Yeah, I need some vinegar. Yeah, I don't see that in Mexico. Sarson's. All right. I think exposing them and convincing more people is enough revenge. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I just do what feels right to me. My phone's got so many messages. It's exhausting. It's not even about revenge for me now. Can I lead people to God? Can I expose the devil? Can I make you feel a little bit better about where the world's going? Even if it goes to complete shit, can I give you a bit of hope within it all, but not also delude you? So everything's going to be okay. No, like you've got to be real with it. I'm a realist, but I always do what I can to overcome adversity. I like it. I thrive on it. I thrive on adversity. I enjoy it. Not had much in my life, but when I have it, I like it. So that's why I said I'm partly like, come on, let's go. Come on, stop playing now. Collapse. Let's see people's true colors. You will when the system collapses, you'll see people's true colors. And a lot of people are far more powerful than they realize. Because the system's broken, and when the system collapses, maybe they'll find themselves. Oh my goodness. Guys, I've come up with these things I should write down. What did I say there? people are lost because of the system. Wait, I've got to write it down because I've got my book and I'll rewrite it. Some people are so lost in the system. No, lost. Some people are so lost because of the system, but they may find themselves when the system collapses. I've got to read. Some people are so lost because of the system, but they may find themselves when the system collapses. I feel like I can make that a bit better. But that kind of felt right. I feel like people are broken because of the system. They're lost because of the system. But when the system ceases to exist, they might actually find who they truly are instead of giving themselves to the system. I know what I'm trying to say. Wait, you know what? Before I go, I'm going to send you that. Someone make it better. I'm going to put it in my book along those lines because I wrote about the system. Somebody do that for me. Go on. I've just typed that now. Somebody make that better. I'll put it in your own words right before I go. My mouth's dry. I need to get my pajamas on. I need to lay down. I need to respond to a ton of messages. Somebody make that better for me. I'm not religious like that because it was pushed on me when I was younger, so I went away from it. Stay away from religion. Faith is different. Stay away from man-made religion. That's why there's so many religions. The devil's behind religion. He created multiple different religions to divide us and lead you away from Jesus Christ. And it's a genius move because it's worked. It's worked. That's created things like racism because it's created multiple different religions. There's only one God, guys. It ain't Allah. It ain't Buddha. All right? You're only getting to heaven through Jesus Christ. You're not getting there through Allah or Buddha or whoever else that these people worship. Being brought up to believe. That's what I think. Don't know, but I think. I'm going to stick with it. Is anyone going to rewrite that for me? UFC emerging together. I told you all. They're basically the same. 3 years ago. And now look, they're merging. How many things have I said like that, guys? That got laughed at. No, completely different. WWE's got no, and I was like, no, well, Brock Lesnar's at the top star in both of them at the time I was saying it. Like, there can't be that much. Yeah, but he's different. He's an NCAA. I thought, well, look at Kurt Angle. Like, there's a load of them that could be. And then CM Punk went there and got obviously get his ass kicked. I said, it's the same thing. It's all a show. It's a spectacle. It's all a show. It's all completely coded. It's all satanic. And now they're merging. Boom. I don't have to tell everyone, oh, I got it right again all the time to them, but I did. For whatever reason, I'm able to see what's going on most of the time. Some people are so lost because they are stuck in the system. When the system falls, they realize, all right, I like that, Noel. I'm going to take that. Yeah, Divine, you're an amazing rider. I'm going to wait for Divine's response, then I'm off. Thank you, Noel. I'm going to save that. And you know what some people are so lost because they are stuck in the system. When the system falls, they may realize their true self. All right. Is that better than mine, mate? I think it could be. Some people are so lost because of the system, but they may find themselves when the system collapses. I'm going to put ceases to exist. Ceases to exist. I think a load of people are going to find the true self when everything just goes. Everything they thought that they needed and loved and had to have, when it goes, they're going to realize they didn't need. I don't need this 9-to-5 job. I don't need this house. I don't need these 3 cars. I don't need to go watch Man United. I don't need to go out for lobster dinners every night. I can't. I'll bring it on. Go on. People are so engaged with that Trump nonsense so much because of that. Yeah. Well, when Trump got indicted was the same day Charles gave his speech in Germany. The Federal Reserve put through an act, which I should have talked about, where it's going to be this, like, basically one world currency. Nobody talked about it. They're too busy talking about Trump or Tate or Charles. Not the devil. Oh God. King Charles visiting York and Yorkshire tomorrow. He recently visited York and somebody tried to throw 4 eggs at him and they missed. Fourth horseman, the Antichrist named Death, regarding King Charles. I've done a video about King Charles' connections with the Antichrist if you want to watch it. None of us know who it is. We should have a nice cuppa and have a chat one day, bestie. When I'm in London, I might come down the day before. I fly and then we can do it then, or the day of. Are you at a hotel, mate? No, my mum's house in the dining area. I've got to go in a minute because I just spoke for 2 hours and they're trying to they still watch TV. It's hard for me to just give up Manchester United football. You did it 9 years. I did it 25. So you can do it. And you don't have to give it up, but nobody's making you. You'll give it up when you're ready, or you may never give it up. If you're still finding joy in it, but you're still aware of the code, it's not black and white. Nobody's going to make you give it up, mate. Mine organically happened, and it was over time, and it was very hard. Now, if you literally came to me, what's your name? I can't even see it. Dimes HD. If you came to me and said, Illusion, I've got a box at Old Trafford, paid for, food. All right, you got the best view in Old Trafford. It's Man United against Man City. I say I don't want to go. Within instantly, I say I don't want to go. But thank you. But I wouldn't judge you for going, and I'd be grateful for your offer. But I wouldn't go. That's just where I'm at. If you offered me to go to the World Cup and watch every game for free and stay in a palace, I would have said no. If you think I'm joking, fine. I'm not. I'm very honest. Anyway, I gotta go. Cheers. I'll speak to you all soon. And you know what? Hit that like before I go. Get me to 50. Get me to 50. I've got 47 in the live. If only 9 people hit it, I'm on 50. What's today's date emoji? 52 in it. What is the date today? I don't even know the date. 4, 5. That's 9. Okay. 20, 29. Yeah, it's 52. 52. 52 weeks in a year, baby. Many antichrists around and about, respect the mother tongue. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Kenneth. Adios, H965. Much love, Divine. Quick, please, how many World Cup has Maradona had? Appearances, I'm not sure. No, I do know. He's obviously won World Cup, one World Cup, and Maradona has 21. He's got 8 goals in 21 World Cup appearances. 21. Another 21 connection. It's 21 appearances. Messi has 26. So there you go. There's you. I didn't even Google that. Yeah. 8 goals, 21 games in the World Cup. No, 21. All right. I'm on 49. Need one more. Go on, caveman dude. You can do it. You can do it. Put your finger into it. Let's hit that, baby. Will Messi play the World Cup? I think so. He's now the ambassador of Saudi Arabia, who are going to basically try and get the 2030 World Cup, which connects to Agenda 2030, which connects to 666. Will he play? What's he going to be? 39, probably. Messi will probably, yeah. He'll probably be there. Yeah. But again, I don't know enough. I haven't looked enough, but it could be. That's if there is another one. There could be. Chuck's an amazing coder. He thinks there will be. There probably will be, it seems, but there might not be. Depends if the war starts. World War III begins before 2026. There's no World Cup. If it's after, then there will be. All right. Eyes are hurting now. Can barely see. Cheers. What will I do in heaven? I don't have to worry about that. Live in eternal peace. Live in eternal peace is what I'll do in there. All right. Cheers, guys. Much love. Thank you.